The first book is the book of science. His laws are 5, and this is their arrangement: the laws of the basic Torah, the laws of opinions, the laws of Talmud Torah, the laws of foreign worship, and the laws of the Gentiles, the laws of repentance. Basic laws of the Torah. There are 10 mitzvot in all, 6 commandments to do, and 4 commandments not to do, and he specified: a. To know that there is a God, b. That he should not think that there is a God other than God, c. To single out, d. To his lover, e. To be afraid of him, f. Sanctify his name, g. Not to defame his name, h. Not to lose things that bear his name, 9. To hear from the prophet speaking in his name, j. Not to try it. Laws of opinion. There are 11 commandments in all, 5 commandments to do, and 6 commandments not to do, and he specified: a. To be like his ways, b. Adhere to his knowledge, c. Loving people, d. To love the neighbors, e. Not to hate brothers, f. Prove, g. Not to whiten the face, h. Not to torture a million, I. Not to gossip, j. Not to take revenge, k. Not to monitor. Laws of Talmud Torah. There are altogether 2 mitzvots to do: a. To study Torah, b. To respect her teachers and students. Laws of idolatry and the laws of the Gentiles. There are altogether 51 mitzvot 2 mitzvot do, and 49 mitzvot don't do, and he specified: a. Not to turn to idolatry, b. Not to follow the reflection of a heart and the sight of the eyes, c. Not to blaspheme, d. That he shall not work her according to her way of work, e. That he should not bow to her, f. Not to make a statue for himself, g. Not to make a statue even for others, h. Not to make shapes even for Noi, I. Not to depose others after her, j. Burn the remote city, k. Not to her daughters, 12. Not to benefit from any appointment, 13. Not to incite an individual to the fact, hand. Not to love the instigator, 2. Not to leave his hatred, 16. Not to save him, 17. Not to teach him a right, 18. That he should not refrain from teaching him a duty, 19. Not to prophesy in her name, 20. Not to hear from the prophesied in her name, 21. Not to prophesy falsely, even in the name of God, 22. Not to live from killing a false prophet, 23. Not to swear in the name of idolatry, kid. Not to do evil, so. Not to make a newsletter, c. Not to transfer to Malik, 27. Not to erect a tombstone, power. Not to bow down on a stone, x 9. Not to mislead a vizier, l. To lose idolatry and everything done for it, no. Not to enjoy foreign work and all its benefits, heart. Not to enjoy the plating of a slave, l. Not to make alliances with foreign idolaters, d. Not to pity them, 2. Not to settle in our land, him. Not to resemble them in their customs and dress, lz. Not to guess, lh. Not to bewitch, lat. Not to cloud, m. Not to join a friend, mar. Not to demand from the dead, mb. Not to ask in vain, mg. Not to ask in my fiction, med. Not to bewitch, wat. Not to surround the headpiece, mu. Not to spoil the beard's beard, mz. That no one should target a woman, mh. That a woman should not be a witness to anyone, mat. Not to write a tattoo, n. Not to congregate, please, don't do kra on a dead person, mb. Not to ask in vain, mg. Not to ask in my fiction, med. Not to bewitch, wat. Not to surround the headpiece, mu. Not to spoil the beard's beard, mz. That no one should target a woman, mh. That a woman should not be a witness to anyone, mat. Not to write a tattoo, n. Not to congregate, please, don't do kra on a dead person, mb. Not to ask in vain, mg. Not to ask in my fiction, med. Not to bewitch, wat. Not to surround the headpiece, mu. Not to spoil the beard's beard, mz. That no one should target a woman, mh. That a woman should not be a witness to anyone, mat. Not to write a tattoo, n. Not to congregate, please, don't do kra on a dead person. Laws of answer. Do one mitzvah, and that is that the sinner return from his sin before God, and confess. All the mitzvahs included in this book were found, 75. 16 of them are commandments to do, and 59 commandments are not to be done.